measured, a bit more methodical. Souto, once he gets in the groove, he likes to run around the table. And he's going to get this match started, and it looks a pretty good break here. How's this 2-ball going to finish?
He's from the party island of Ibiza, and when he plays, he always looks like he's got a party somewhere he's rushing to get back to.
It does look like this does cut into that side pocket. I just don't know how thin it is. Can he avoid hitting the purple? Been so much talk of Aloysius Yap defending his title. You just kind of get the feeling Michael Souto is not too far away from winning one of these open events.
Oh, absolutely, and he may well have won it last year, but for the fact that Yap just stopped him getting involved in the final. Was absolutely brilliant and won by 13 racks to 1. Now, if Souto comes through and Yap beats Mustafa Alnar, then in the quarterfinals tonight, we will have Souto versus Yap in a repeat of last year's final. Bounces around the table, Souto, and can win racks in no time at all. I mean, we talk about Filler, we talk about Sufi as the fastest players, but when Souto is in his rhythm, he's in the same bracket. How quick has this been? Well, overdone that just a little. Should be okay, but you never want to leave yourself queuing off the rail if you can avoid it.
Yeah, and with it being the first rack, just a little tester, but he finds the middle of the pocket, and what a start for Souto. Pay attention to the pace he's playing at. If he hits it full, well, that has gone wrong, but could have been a lot worse. Be a big shot to take on this bank in the side, but he may have a look at this. I think he's having a go. He is. Just hits it a little bit high. Nearly pots the pink 4. Doesn't go in, and he leaves Labutis a long 3. But just where it's finished, it's landed on a weird little angle. I don't know if he can pot this ball and force the cue ball out. Obviously, he's got to come away from that side rail. Oh, he's hit this like an absolute dream. What a beautiful draw shot there. They're not easy. Not seen loads of jump shots successful on the main table this week. This is difficult. There's a long way to go. Yeah, he's hit it too full. He's trying to hit a ball here, otherwise he's got to leave the pot. And he has left the pot.
I totally agree with what you're saying, that you see a lot fewer successful jump shots. Not just here, but in general. So why is that?
Purely because the pockets are 4-inch now.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it used to be a lot of the jump shots, if you just made any sort of contact, it was probably going to go in. But such a low percentage of balls potted now using the jump cue.
Yeah, the pockets are cut at 4 inches, and the angle, if you don't hit it directly into the hole, just like when you're trying to pot the ball, you just see the ball spit, don't you, and comes away from the hole.
So should players be attempting them less often?
I think so, yeah, but I think in the modern era, the cue manufacturers make these jump cues so good, it's very easy to just get that cue ball popping over, and I think they're just guaranteeing the hit, you know, rather than trying to come out of the hook and miss it and give ball in hand. It's almost like I'll just hit it and hopefully get away with it. I know me and Jeremy often speak about the rules and whatnot, and should we try and do this and do that, and we think limiting the amount of jump shots you're allowed would be a good rule to bring in, just because I think at some point it just starts to get a bit silly, you know. Sometimes in 9-ball you can only play a certain safety shot, and you hit it really well, and your opponent just brings this modern day jump cue out, and you know they're popping it over. And anyway, back to the match.
Yeah, and it's a match in which that miss from Labutis started a sequence of events which ultimately gave Souto this chance, from which it looks as though he's going to open a 2-rack lead for the first time. (3-1) Souto leads.
This is the contrast in styles of these two that we were chatting about at the start of this match. Labutis will not be rushed. He doesn't play slow, Michael. I don't really mean that. Well, I wish he'd... you might have wished he'd have slowed down there, because that positional shot has gone wrong.
I think most players would look slow compared to Souto. Yeah, attempting to recover the situation with the bank shot. Got pretty close to it. He's left a chance on the 7 for Souto. It'll take some doing, this 7-ball, but if he gets it, I fancy him to go on and go too clear again. Needs a bit of luck. I don't think he's had it. It's a tough 7, that, Carl.
Yeah, very tough, and as you said, I think this sneaks by. Yeah, this one. He's about to be tied up.
Yeah, Labutis was 3-1 down in double quick time, really. That's 2 in a row for the Lithuanian, level at 3-all. Let's see how last year's UK Open winner is getting on, Aloysius Japp, out there on table 3.
Me and Phil Yates was doing the Gary Wilson match last night, and he were talking about Gary had been to the semi-final of the World Snooker Championship. So I asked him, oh, who did he lose to? He didn't know the answer.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I know, I meant to tell you that this morning. I knew you wouldn't be happy with that. You had to go on Google.
It's Judd Trump that beat him.
Yeah, I knew you'd get it.
Oh!
I can't, well, wow, somebody's missed an 8.
Pijus Labutis.
Easier than mine, Michael.
Oh. There's always someone brings up that 8-ball, Carl. I just didn't think it would be you. Look at this. I mean, how does that happen?
Well, ask Mark Allen.
I was going to say, I hope Mark's watching, because he might feel just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bottled it. It's just a moment of madness. He's just not cued through the ball straight. It's not the end of the world. Just because Labutis has got to come with some shot here. Well, he's staying levelled out. Yeah, trying to power it in, and he's hit it all wrong, and he's scratched, and it's a gift. One shot, of course, in 9-ball. You can put the cue ball anywhere on the table. Johan's a master of the mind, and sort of that Dutch mentality, you know, kneels and Nick Vandenberg from back in the day and Mark Bijsterbosch, they've all got similar mindsets. They don't let anything faze them.
That's just what Dutch people are like in general, and it's a great characteristic to have, of course, and particularly so in the world of cue sports. Well, you wouldn't say this match has really caught fire yet, but Souto won't mind about that, because in a few moments he could have a very healthy lead in it. Oh, has he got away with us?
Yeah, raised his hands to apologise.
So, probably only about 10 minutes ago, it looked like Pijus Labutis was about to draw level. Now, he's 3 behind. Well, we didn't actually get to see him hit the shot in the end, but he did make that 5, I can tell you, and he's on the 6.
Cue ball's close, and the dreaded scratch on the break, and he gives the break cue a big old whack on the floor.
Has anyone mentioned Raj Hundal, Carl? 7-1 down in the World Masters final against Rodney Morris in 187.
That's a big comeback, to be fair.
I won't claim the credit for that. It was Phil who reminded me of that.
Yeah, I mean, what year was that, Phil?
05?
Yeah, 05. I wasn't even playing Nineball then. That's why I don't remember that. But now you mention it, yeah, it does stick out. That is a great comeback from the hitman, Raj Hundal.
You know, we've seen guys on the main table this week, Carl, who weren't even born then. Something to think about.
Yeah, if you keep saying stuff like that, I might be jumping off this balcony that we're on.
Why do you think I'm saying it? Yeah, could have a guy playing in the Champions League final tonight who was born on the last day of 2009. Jonas Souto is another lad who was born this century. He's closing in on a 3-rack lead here, which he had a little earlier in the match.
Yeah, good positive strike there.
Well, it's been a disappointing day for Pijus Labutis. He's done so much in the game over the last year or so, and being out here on the main table towards the business end of a major event, I want to underline his newfound status as one of the world's best players, but it hasn't turned out that way at all. In fact, to some extent, he's got off the hook a bit in that he's only going to be 3 racks behind rather than facing an almost impossible deficit. Jonas Souto, 3 in front. Okay, so well, I was about to say, could this be the start of the turnaround Labutis needs, but he's well off target positionally there.
And he's going to have to come off the side rail now. He's hooked himself, so he may still pot this purple, but not the way he intended. One of the semi-finals of our next-gen London event is well underway, and as Kachi and Wojciech leave the arena, the other two enter.
You're talking about Victor Kaczmarek and Azolas Tadeuravicius, Carl?
Yeah, them two, yeah.
Well, if we cross over to it later, I'm going to get you to say the names. About time you earned your money. And that look on Pijus Labutis' face, I think, sums up the way this day has gone for him. Far better than any words from me ever could.
Yeah, just look how he dressed the balls up. Incredible. He can pot this and get on the 8 in the same hole, or he could play it with a bit of left and play for left centre. Probably come back out for the same hole. Doesn't want to flick the 8 though, and he has, Michael. Little error here.
And it was such an obvious danger as well if you got it wrong. That's very careless. Don't like using that word, but sometimes you have to. And this is the thing that will add to Labutis' disappointment. It's not as if Souto has made it impossible for him today. He's made his mistakes too.
Yeah, you just kind of feel this is Labutis' sort of only sniff in this match now. Obviously, he's got to get this safe, but for all the money in the world, he would have thought he was about to go 9-4 down against a break. That needs to go. Okay, outside chance of flicking this in the left corner.
Aloysius Yap is building momentum. He's now 2 racks ahead of Mustafa Alnar. 7-5 now in favour of the reigning UK Open champion.
Chance number 2. Can he knock this in? He's overdone it. Got the cue ball down here though, hasn't he, for the hook? Coming off the side and top rail here, it needs something good to happen. If you can somehow fluke it here, or, you know, just win the rack. However he wins it, you won't care, because, as I said, he was looking like 9-4. Has he hit it? He has. Has he potted it in the side? Oh, that was so close. Good effort.
These are things you need to happen for you when you're having the sort of day he's having. So great chance now for Souto. And this looks like job done for this rack, and near enough for the match itself. Pijus Labutis is going to have to win half a dozen racks in a row. He trails 9-4.
Just one good shot to get right here. He's got to dig into this. He's stretching over the balls. He'll rip this one in though. Low to left. Yeah, there you see the left. And it looks to be absolutely ideal. I think this is it, you know. You can see Francisco Sanchez Ruiz sat on the front row watching his buddy.
Spain will be the only country with multiple players in the quarterfinals. David O'Cady already through. Disappointing day for Pijus Labutis. We've seen other players, once they win their first big matchroom title, go on and win several more over the next year or two. That may yet happen for him, but it won't be arriving here in Brentwood, because Jonas Souto has really dominated this match, particularly from 3-all. He has streaked away from there, winning 7 of the next 8 racks. Souto is the winner, 10-4, and he goes through to the quarterfinals, where he may well face a repeat of last year's final against Aloysius Yap.